Hi guys, this is SDJRSNF88 speaking with a quick update on some of the projects that I've been working on during lockdown. As you may have seen on the channel, I've been doing a number of videos, but I haven't really been talking in these, purely because I've just been so busy with work, working on the Railway Modeller magazine, which is very important at the moment. So anyway, I hope you enjoy these couple of projects that I've been working on. Sadly, I haven't been able to film them. I've just been taking photographs as I go. It's just makes it a bit more enjoyable for myself. But of course, I do share the end results and hope to do a number of running sessions with these models once they are complete. But anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at what I'm working on. So one of the first projects I've been working on is renumbering a number of Batman models. So as you can see here, we got a Midland 4F, a Fowler 3F and a standard 3MT. Now, a number of these models have been waiting a number of years to have this procedure done to them, and the plan is to obviously renumber them into Somerset and Dorset running numbers. So starting off with the Midland 4F, this was purchased about 2 years ago by a number of good friends from New Zealand during their visit to the UK when we did a massive tour of the Southwest, and they sort of bought it for me as a surprise and a thank you for the sort of a great week that they had during their holiday in the UK, going around all these preserved railways. And basically I had in mind to renumber this one straight from the offset into a Somerset and Dorset number, and finally, as you can see, I've got round to doing it. So this locomotive represents an original S&D member. So this 4F was built specifically for the Somerset and Dorset. It then obviously moved over into LMS when the line came under LMS ownership, before receiving its BR number, which is how I've represented it here, as the majority of my Somerset and Dorset fleet is of course in British Rail. We then move on to the Fowler 3F. This has been renumbered to a Pacific Ginty, which was photographed at Midsummer Norton Station shunting in the goods yard. She was a regular on the line, but on this particular day she was called for duties up around Norton Hill Colliery and the goods yard at Midsummer Norton. And of course, as you know, I often visit the railway, so I thought it'd be really nice to model this specific locomotive. And as you can see, the numbers suit her quite well. We then come on to the third locomotive of this sort of little collection here, and it's a relatively new member to the collection. It is a Batman 3MT tank, and I purchased this locomotive purely because I've always had a sort of a fondness for this particular livery. It's as you can see, it's an unlined late BR green with a rather large crest on the side, and I thought it really does suit the model quite well. And this particular locomotive also worked on the S&D. She was photographed at Bath Green Park, number 82004, and I believe she was on a local service at the time. The great thing is she hauled services which ranged from just a single coach, such as a Mark 1 or Hawksworth, but also as well there's a photograph of her waiting to depart Bath Green Park with a set of bullied coaches. Now these bullied coaches were recently released by Hornby, and they are the precise ones that she's photographed with. It's the precise running set, and I've also got that in my collection, so I can actually recreate that full train. Once those models were, of course, renumbered, I then got around to doing a bit of weathering. And as you can see, the 4F and the 3F received a coat of Humbrol weathering powders. And again, this is something I've been meaning to do for quite a long time. It's just to sort of sit down and start weathering up my collection and sort of bring them to life. And with the 4F and the 3F, they already do have factory weathering, which does help, but it's rather sort of obviously it's a factory finish, so enhancing it with the powders really does bring this model to life. So what I've gone and done is I've used photographs of both of the real locomotives, and I've weathered them from those images which I've used to renumber them, so they look pretty much as they did in the photographs. The 3MT is yet to receive another coat of weathering, although the weathering on this particular model is quite good, and it does pretty much represent how she looked in the pictures which I renumbered her from. But currently I'm still awaiting the smoke box door number, so I'll probably add a little top up of soot powder along the top of the boiler and other little detail enhancements once that has arrived. So the next renumbering project is a rather unusual one, and it is this. I've renumbered this Oxford N7 into NCB livery. Now, there is method to my madness here. First of all, the model was at a price I honestly could not refuse. It was amazing value for money, brand new off of a well-known auction site, and I've sort of been toying around with the idea for this project, and at that price, I couldn't refuse. So I quickly pounced on it and got it. And as soon as it arrived back, gave it a little test run and quickly started removing the LNER branding. So basically, the reasoning for this was a number of mainline locomotives after service with British Rail were purchased by the National Coal Board, such as pannier tanks and other Great Western locomotives, in particular in Wales, but other locomotives from other regions such as Ginties were also used in industrial use, and I thought, why not the N7? There were a number of industrial locomotives that were also 062s, and the N7 bears a number of striking resemblances to these locomotives, and I thought, well, at that price, why can't I try and model one of these locomotives with this particular model here? So what I basically did was just remove the branding and put on this LNER text, NCB text, I should say. And as you can see, it's come out quite well. So far, the model's still a work in progress. I've just put the branding on along with the running number. The model is yet to be weathered, but I have got round to painting the rods red, which really does transform the overall look of the locomotive. So let me know what you think of this project. I know it's something a bit different, but I quite like it, and hopefully we'll have it on some nice long cold trains at some point. Possibly with a little sound edit, which I've been working on quite a lot recently. And I think it will be a nice sort of little addition to the growing NCB industrial fleet. So whilst we're on the subject of industrial locomotives, I've been working on a number of Hardees Hobbies body kits, and some of which you've probably already seen in the community posts on my Facebook page, and of course in recent videos as well. Now, this all stemmed from my first kit from Hardees Hobbies, which was, of course, the Fry's Somerdale Sentinel, which, of course, as you know, led me to build Fry's Somerdale. And once again, a massive thank you for all the amazing feedback and comments about that layout. And, I just can't believe how popular that last update's been. And, as I've mentioned, I really do hope to get that layout on the exhibition circuit, along with the Sentinel, once all this blows over. But anyway, once I built that kit, I then went on to do an article for Railway Modeler on one of his other kits. And anyway, in doing this, I got chatting to Andrew, who runs Hardees Hobbies, and his team, and basically, they've been in lockdown as well, and he's been absolutely churning out these body kits that are designed to fit on ready-to-run chassis, and they are just addictive projects. They are, they're simple kits, which you can basically paint into any livery you want, and they fit onto a ready-to-run chassis. For those of you that are not confident enough to build your own chassis at the moment, this is something that I'm obviously looking to learn at a later date. But it's, they're really great, fun little lockdown projects. They can take a couple of hours to assemble, and you get a really, really nice model at the end of it. And they're interchangeable. I know that there's been comments about what you have to buy a fully working, ready to run loco and then buy the body kit. But what I've gone and done is I've purchased one packet, which I already had in my collection, and I basically interchanged the bodies between it. So basically, I'm using the same chassis for 3 or 4 locomotives. So I've been really working on some of these latest models that he's been churning out, one of which caught my eye was the Bagnall 040 saddle tank, which you recently saw I basically painted in this rather eye-catching or garish, whichever way you look at it. It certainly is a Marmite livery, Wasp Stripe livery, and yeah, this is something I've always wanted to do, is to paint a locomotive in this livery, and there are pictures of steam locomotives that did carry this livery. I believe there was one that worked in a steel mill in Sheffield, which was sort of the inspiration behind this. I changed the angle of the lines towards the back of the cab to sort of create this sort of dazzle camo effect, which is sort of a little homage to the dreadnought battleships of the First World War as well. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how this model's turned out, and that fits on a Hornby W4 chassis, which is basically the same chassis that shares the body of the Manning Wardle kit, which I, of course, assembled for Railway Modeler. So anyway, of course, in doing all this, I got chatting to Andrew, and he really is a great chap, and the amount of kits that he's churning out and the research he's putting into these bodies is, really amazing stuff. So do check out his latest kits that he is releasing. And anyway, he sort of mentioned that he was working on a Bagnall 060 saddle tank, and I expressed my interest in this sort of kit, and he said, would you like an early sample? So basically I purchased this early sample just as sort of a test bed to see, obviously if the kit works. And as you can see, I've been working on this over the past couple of weeks, and here is the nearly finished model. I finished it as Empress, which is preserved on the Pontypool and Blaenevin Railway. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I'm still waiting for the nameplates and the builder's plates to turn up, but as you can see, it's finished in this rather deep blue. It's been weathered, so it basically depicts her as her working condition when she worked for the National Coal Board. And yeah, it really is an excellent kit, and it slots straight on top of a Hornby B2060 chassis. This is from my NCB Blue Peckett, so this chassis shares obviously is shared between the two models. And yeah, I'm just really pleased with how this kit has turned out. But yeah, as I said, they are great lockdown projects. There's something you could just work on for a couple of hours each evening, and you get a rather unique and personalised locomotive at the end of it. So yeah, do check him out. And of course, this has been another sort of catalyst to try and spur me on to finally get round to building a colliery layout. This is something I've always wanted to do, but at the moment it's just trying to find the time to assemble the boards and maybe build a little micro layout. I've got all the pit head gear that I've always wanted to do, but it's just like to run all these little industrial locomotives on. And he's going to be churning out a number of more kits in the not too distant future, ones that I'm really excited about. So do watch this space. So besides all the little projects I've been working on, I have been trying to get round to producing videos as well. So yeah, it certainly is all go during lockdown. Of course, obviously work takes priority, and I've been doing a number of videos for work at the moment, so most of my videos have sort of taken the back bench at the moment. But as you've seen, I've been working on a number of sound edits, and I really enjoy doing these, and I know you guys really enjoy seeing them as well. And it does help doing these sound edits because I don't have to worry about lawnmowers, airplanes and cars in the background when filming these videos. So I could basically go and edit my real sound over the top, and of course it adds that extra atmosphere to the videos as well. So I've got a number of more videos like this planned. I've got a number of galas on the big layout, so I plan to do a branch line weekend gala. I also plan to do a industrial gala at some point in the not too distant future, but again I've got to do a lot of filming for that one. A diesel gala, and also as well a vintage train weekend, and I've been working on a number of these clips, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out, and I hope that you'll enjoy them once they appear. Apart from that, other videos, I haven't really been working on any other videos to date, but of course do leave your suggestions in the comments below. But as you can imagine, and I'm sure many of you that are working from home, it does get a bit tiring over time, and when you sort of get to the end of the day after you've been doing a bit of work, creating videos is sort of the last thing on your mind. But I still do try to plan to bring you more videos like this in the not too distant future, and project videos as well. I really do enjoy doing the project videos, but they do take a lot of time to produce. In fact, I'm currently working on one at the moment for Pico. Again, obviously this is a work related one, and basically it's taking a lot longer than I expected to do, because it's just a lot of work, and for such a short video, what will be hopefully a short video, but it's a lot of effort that goes into producing these videos. So this is one of the reasons why I've been doing these sort of little projects on evenings, because it's it's just nice just to produce and do these models without having to worry about a camera being in the way. But of course I do plan to do more of those at some point in the not too distant future. But as always, do leave your comments in the comment section below on things that you would like to see in the not too distant future. hope you enjoyed this little update on the projects that I've been working on, and hopefully we'll see a bit more of those very, very soon. I do hope to get around to doing a number of other little projects that I've been sort of dreaming up, and maybe even possibly another micro layout at some point. But of course we'll have to see with what's happening. And again, of course, like I say, it's you're working on the magazine all day and doing projects for that. Sometimes when you just at the end of the day you just want to sit back and relax and maybe go on a games console or something rather than sort of continuing on sort of thing. Or otherwise it ends up getting a bit too much, as I'm sure many of you will agree as well. But before I go, if you want to know a bit more about the YouTube channel and other things as well, Railway Mania did an amazing podcast with me and 82A Studios back last year, and he recently released this. I did share the link on my Facebook page and of course in the community section on the channel, but I'll pop a little link at the top of the screen now and of course in the description below, and do go check it out. It really is an interesting video, and watching it back, it was quite funny, some of the things that we were actually discussing, as I completely forgot about what we did. So it's quite a funny podcast, and hopefully it'll give you a bit more insight into the goings on both of our channels. So anyway, I guess that's all for this update, and this has been SDJ Arsenal 88 speaking, and thanks for watching.